Today on Singles Court, they want to have a baby, but Cheryl can't make Darlene come around about the donor.
It's because she doesn't like him. She hasn't given him a chance. She won't even have him over because we like to watch football together. She won't let him over at all.
Darlene says, no go to Danny Boy.
He's a loser.
Hello,
How do you
he's
say
the only
loser?
one that-
Loser.
And he's been down the aisle so often, he's worn a path to the altar.
I just had some bad luck.
Well, I'm not going to be the next string in your bad luck.
Now he's gearing up for another trip, but Michelle wants him to cool his heels.
Marriage has been an institution for as long as I can remember, and anybody can remember. And why should I break that tradition?
Hi there, and welcome to Singles Court. Today, as usual, we have singles down here who have a relationship problem that they couldn't solve on their own. So they've come here to get help from a woman who is an author, a lecturer. She even owned and ran her own dating service. She is relationship expert Angela Segal.
Hi, David.
Hello?
You know what? It was raining this morning.
Yes?
And as chivalry did, no one would put their coat over the puddle.
I don't think people do that anymore.
Ah.
They might pick you up and carry you over, but they're not putting their coat
Well,
down.
that'll work. That didn't happen either.
Well, you need a Boy Scout, that's what you need. Angela meets Cheryl, she's a waitress, and Darlene, an assembly line worker at a car factory. The pair are looking to get pregnant. Cheryl thinks her brother Danny is the most suitable donor. Darlene is not convinced. She thinks Danny is just a little too rough around the edges. I call it baby makes three, or three make baby.
Well,
Hi.
Cheryl, you have an issue. Sounds like there's
Yeah?
a baby involved. What's going on?
Yeah, okay, I will tell you because if she tells you, we will be here forever.
Sure.
Okay, we have been talking about this for months, about having a baby together.
I'm gonna
and
have
it's-
the baby.
And she's going to have a baby, and it's really exciting, but it took us a while to get to that point that she would have it. So now that she's going to have it, she thinks that she owns it completely,
Cheryl.
and that she can say who is going to be the donor.
Cheryl.
Now, so
Okay.
I had the best idea
We've
is
been
that it would be
together for-
Danny, my brother, who is my twin brother, and how closer can you get than my twin brother? And she
Exactly.
doesn't want to.
And my
I
point,
cannot believe
and
it.
if you would let me, my point, Angela, is that this will be our little family.
Right.
And to be sort of kind. I just-
Family.
Family?
Yes.
Oh, just shut up for a minute.
Okay.
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay. Her twin brother,
if you could just-
Danny, she wants to be the father of the baby, and I think that this is going to be our little family, and it shouldn't be complicated by having siblings or anybody that knows us involved.
Okay, but
It should
what you
just
don't
be
understand
our
She has a
about
point.
Danny.
Well, she has a point, though, because
What?
if Danny, well, what would be the point? The point would be that if Danny is the father
Yeah.
and knows he's the father, then that's somebody that you're going to see for the rest of your life. He's
Okay,
your brother.
but you have not met Danny.
No, you
okay?
have not
He is
met
going to be
Danny.
involved
But those
anyway
facts
as an
wouldn't
uncle.
change.
Yeah, but he is not the parenting type. You have not met him. He is not interested in anything else but his car. He could not even handle
Angela,
having a cat.
that's
We
an
had to take Toby
under-
because he kept forgetting to feed her. So that's why we have our little cat now. So he is not interested in changing diapers.
Okay,
he will
but-
not be involved. That is not
But
a
Cheryl,
problem.
what about
you
in
know
5 or
that
10
about
years
Danny.
from
Cheryl,
now?
Cheryl.
Sorry.
Here's the issue. No matter what, whether he's interested or not, he will still be the father of the child.
Exactly.
So
And
do
in
you
fact-
understand, at least what she's saying is that you can't change that based on his personality.
And in
Yeah,
5
but
or,
he's still going to be around as the uncle.
and in
so
5
what
or 10
difference does
years,
it make? If
Cheryl,
he's going to be a,
okay, maybe right
Yeah?
now, but in 5 or 10 years, maybe the child, little Danny or little Daniela in this case, may want to visit her father, and her father will take her to.
But no, I have a better question, because she's right. The credits will be rolling when you're done. What about the fact that this child would know that that's the father? I mean, would you not tell that? Would you not
Well,
tell that
I
child?
think that honesty is always the best policy.
so
so
now-
instead of being an uncle, he will be. I guess we will tell the child when it's a good time. But
Angela, the issue
thing is, it's
Danny's
not. Gonna,
not daddy material to anybody, let alone
yeah, but
to
that's.
our baby.
But see, first she says she doesn't want him to be involved as a father, but then she says he's not good enough to be the
Angela.
father. So I don't understand.
Angela,
you want to
he's
go
an
to a sperm
alcoholic.
donor, and it's a donor. He's
Yes,
going to be
I
a
would.
donor.
But I guess the part that I'm trying to understand from you, because I'm really trying to understand your
Yeah,
argument.
thank
here.
you.
I'm trying, but it's difficult because the part that I'm missing, I guess, is where you feel like it's better knowing who the father is than it is going through a donor program where
Right.
there's no involvement at all.
Okay, she says she loves me. and she says she wants to have a child with me. So if you want to have a child with me, what better person to go to than somebody who has like shared an ovary with me, which is the same gene pool.
First of all,
and
I don't know where you took class, but he ain't sharing over
okay,
everything.
isn't he? Okay, well he's sharing something.
I hope not. If not, your mom was
gene.
in trouble.
I do admit that I like the idea of a twin donor.
Yeah.
That is an interesting idea.
Thank you.
We're
It's like
They
you
look the
can't get
same.
closer to me than to my twin
Well,
brother.
but this is not genetic court. This is about relationships.
Okay,
so
but this
it's
is a
something
problem
that,
for her, and
right.
she's like completely insulting me and my family by not wanting to have
Cheryl,
my
if I hear
child
that
with.
one
Why do you
more
take that as an
time-
insult?
Well, because she doesn't let him over on Sunday afternoon. It's because she doesn't like him. She hasn't given him a chance. She won't even have him over because we like to watch football together. She won't let him over at all because she doesn't
Okay,
like him.
Darlene is the reason based in the fact that you don't like Danny, or would it be if it
Yes.
were anybody?
She's
I
not
said
fair.
Darlene and you answered.
This is what it's like for me, like day in, day out, day in, day out. Okay, Danny, let me just describe Danny to you. He's
very sweet.
He's an alcoholic. He's
He is
got
not an
like
alcoholic.
a
What
almost
a
criminal
liar.
record.
He drinks about the same
But
amount as
you
you
didn't
do.
answer the question.
Yes.
Is it Danny, or is it the idea that it's a twin brother family
It's
member?
Danny.
So if it were another
She
family
hates
member,
Danny.
you would accept it?
Perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go to my dad then, if that's not a problem.
Honest to God, if I had to choose, your dad is a fabulous man. Your mother's a fabulous man. Your sister's a fabulous man. I don't know how Danny got into this gene pool. I think he was
So
a
it is.
foundling.
So it's
she
Danny.
just
It's not the
doesn't like
fact of-
Danny.
Well, now that kind of changes the dynamics here. You know, can we talk to Danny? I want to talk to Danny.
Yeah, I can get him on the phone.
I mean, because I guess the thing that I'm trying to understand, you don't like him. I see that.
She's
Can you
never
get him on the
liked him.
phone? You don't like him. But do you have any issues with the fact that, you know, the family member is going to be coming around the child? Do you care anything about that?
I don't care about that. It's
so you would
Danny.
use her
It's-
dad.
I would use
or
her
her
dad.
cousin.
Sure. It's just poor old Danny.
Well, she
I
doesn't
mean,
give him
he
a
doesn't
break. He's
deserve
got
to
insecurities.
procreate.
Okay, I've got Danny on the
Macho
line.
exterior.
He's
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
He's ready to go.
Okay, Danny,
So.
Yeah,
how are you doing?
not bad. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You know about the squabble that's going on here between your sister and her lover?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what's your take on it. What do you think should happen?
Well, you know, don't listen to Darlene. Darlene's got something to say about anything. But then again,
Oh.
most lesbians ever met are too opinionated. But listen, that's just my opinion, right? That means nothing. Otherwise, I would have walked right up to her and asked her if she wanted to get boinked. You know? But let me tell you something. I do no diapers. No diapers. But if the kid needs a little bit of advice, Danny will be there for him.
So you would tell the child,
Oh.
He's gone.
Okay, that's
he's,
Danny.
Okay,
he has
that was
quite the
not-
manners, doesn't he?
That-
Yes, he does.
The thing is, he's just
He
a
lives with his.
goofball. He's just
He's
having
26
her
years
on.
old. He lives with his mom.
Yeah,
She does
so-
everything for him.
so
He doesn't
that-
have a job. He hasn't had a
See how
job in
judgmental
ages.
she
Well,
is?
you know, it's not.
It's my brother.
Here's my question to you, because
Okay.
it's not even about judgmental. What do you have against using a donor?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first of all, I would rather have somebody that I love, like my brother, be the parent of
I
my
would rather
child,
have a
rather than
serial
someone I
killer
don't know,
than your
like a
dear
serial
brother,
killer.
as
I think at least we know Danny is not a serial killer. He's
Well,
not
you know
a
what?
junkie. He's not.
I'm not trying to be non-traditional here. I'm really trying to. I really am. I'm trying to not like jump out totally on one box or the other. But you're acting as if you're picking something, like you're going through a book. I'd rather have somebody this. I'd rather have somebody
Well,
that.
it is
But
my
yet you're-
child.
But yet you're
I
choosing
would
to have a
rather
child with a woman, which you only way you can do it is to have somebody else be involved.
So then I want to
Danny
be
is a
involved and
total-
take control of my parenting. So I want to be able to pick the person I want that is the best for my child.
But he's
I
not
don't
the
want
best
some
for
stranger.
my
And you
child.
have never
for
given him
our
a
child.
chance. He's
Oh,
my
God,
brother,
you-
for God's
you
sake. He's my
defended to the
twin
nth,
brother.
nth,
Yeah,
nth.
hello.
Danny
If you don't
could-
love him, then
So
you
you
obviously don't love me.
You do not have
Cheryl.
You don't have a problem though with using someone from her
I
family.
have no problem with that. It's Danny. He's a loser.
and
Loser.
hello,
How do
he's
you
the
say
only
loser?
one that is
Loser.
perfect
A
and who has
total
offered-
like hopeless.
And you don't
human,
have a
he should
problem with
not
it being someone
procreate.
else besides Danny?
Well-
Really? He's your first choice, but not your only
No,
choice.
he is my only choice because he's the one that really wants to do it. He's
Oh,
the one that's
Cheryl.
standing there who supported me. He used to protect me when I was a little kid. Everybody is like always
I'll be back. I'll be
judging
back
him.
with my
Cheryl, he's a
resolution. I'll be back with my resolution.
Well, see, that's
Just forget it.
but you
Absolutely
just
forget
judge
it.
him on the outside.
Big decisions are meant to be taken seriously, and a child's a big decision. Cheryl, you've chosen a non-traditional way to become a parent, so therefore someone else has to be involved, a man of some sorts. The decision is between you and Darlene. It's not between anybody else. You two are the ones that ultimately have to make that decision. And I think you know it deep in your heart that Danny is not a suitable candidate. You know, Darlene, you say that you'll accept another family member, but I think you're discounting the fact that whoever the donor is, being known always adds another dynamic. If it's a family member, you're adding a dynamic to an already difficult situation between the two of you because the family member will always be around. It's blood. You know, when life-changing decisions are made in a relationship, it's real important that you realize the result has to be mutual. You both have to agree that this is what we want to do. This is a life-changing decision. And my recommendation is that you get an anonymous donor, because with an anonymous donor, true, you don't know what you're getting. But let me just tell you as a parent, you never know what you're getting. You never know. It's not as if you make the details and everything goes according to plan. A lot of times it doesn't go according to plan. But at least this way, with an anonymous donor, you both have something new every day to look at. You both can discover what's great with the child, and it'll be something that you've done together. Because, it's not where the baby comes from that matters. It's what you two do with that child and how you grow the child and rear the child and how much you love them. That's what counts. And that's the final word.
Next on Singles Court. He's been down the aisle so often, he's worn a path to the altar.
I just had some bad luck.
Well, I'm not going to be the next string in your bad luck.
Now he's gearing up for another trip, but Michelle wants him to cool his heels.
Because it didn't work out for her, the whole world's not supposed to get married.
No.
Because it's the wrong thing to do.
Welcome back to Singles Court. I'm David Knight. We're back with two more singles who have a serious relationship problem. And who better to help them than woman with the final word, relationship expert Angela Segal.
That's me.
That is you.
It's hot in here today.
It's very hot in here today.
I'm wondering what the deal is.
Well, it was raining and then it just got so humid, I guess.
And look, and fortunately, I'm doing the ponytail thing.
So we've done the weather?
Yeah, we're done
Next
with the
to
weather.
sports. Okay, moving on. Angela, meet John, who's a plumber, and Michelle, a receptionist. John's in the marrying mood and wants to tie the knot with Michelle. Michelle says, no way, let's just live together. Does Michelle have commitment phobia? I call this the case of wedlock roadblock or the shack up shutdown.
Well, John, it seems as though you're on the, wedding truck. You really want to get married, and what's wrong?
No, to me, nothing's wrong. Been seeing her for a year. I'm an old romantic traditionally at heart. I bring her roses or champagne. I love her. I love her more than anything in the world.
I love you too. I totally love you. You know that. The issue is not that we don't love each other. And I want to make a commitment to you. I want to move in together. I'm there for that. I just don't want to get married.
All right. You want to make a commitment? Then you marry me.
No, I don't want to get married.
I have a question for you, Michelle. Why do you have to live together? Why can't you just be committed to each other, monogamous? Why do you have to live together?
Well, I mean, if we want to move the relationship to the next step, let's do that. Let's live together.
But why? Who says that's the next step? I mean, what's wrong with the way it is?
Well, I don't mind it the way it is, actually.
Okay, let's ask
he's
John.
itching to get married.
John, what's wrong with it the way it is? You're monogamous. You only see each other, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Marriage is an institution, all right? I want to declare my love for this lady. No, I want the world to know I love. I want people to pick up the paper.
Move in with me then. Just make a commitment as a couple.
Can you let me finish?
Go ahead.
Can you let me finish?
Go ahead. I'm letting you.
All right, let me finish. I want people to pick up the paper and say, John and Michelle got married. Isn't that nice? I want to put my mailbox out and say, that's Michelle and John's house.
But we can have everything.
Hold on a sec.
We can have everything you want if we live together.
No,
we can
it's
have
living
all
in
of those
sin.
things. Please don't go there.
Isn't that what they call it?
Living
in sin.
Okay,
living
I'm sorry.
in sin.
Okay, so you're willing to sleep with me,
exactly.
but not get
you're going to
married.
pick the things that...
It's the 90s and
Okay,
2000. You're talking about sleeping.
John, come on now. Now your argument is really getting thin. First you said it's living in sin, but yet she said you sleep together.
Something wrong with marriage?
What are you like picking the things?
Nothing's wrong with it. I
guess my question is, you say you want to take it to the next level. But my question is still, what's wrong with it now? Why do you have to live together? Why do you have to be married?
It's very easy to walk out when you're just living together. When you're married, you got a house, you got a dog,
Back up. Before you move the moving truck, why do you even have to live together?
I think we both
You don't want to
wanna
live
take
together,
it.
and you don't want to get married. Why not do either?
I would like to live with you. I want to share my life with you. I love you too.
I want to share my life with you.
But I've been married. I was married when I was 24, and I thought it was. You know what?
I thought it was everything. It was my dream. I stood up there in front of all my family and friends and had someone declare their love for me already. I did that, okay? And 6 months later, he skedaddled off with someone from his office. And I don't want to do that again. And I'm not going to do it again. But it doesn't mean I don't love you and I'm not committed to you.
Okay,
Back to my question, which you all still have not answered. Why do you have to do either?
Because we love each other.
Because we love each other and we want to be
But do you not love each
together.
other now, even not living together?
No, listen. She just told you she got married, it didn't work out. Now, because it didn't work out for her, the whole world's not supposed to get married.
No.
Because it's the wrong thing to do. Okay, it's the wrong thing to do. Didn't work for her. Don't get married. It's the wrong thing to do. It didn't work for Michelle.
I don't understand.
And I
why
get punished for it.
You've
I get punished.
been married 3 times yourself. He's been married 3 times himself. So don't say I'm punishing you.
So you have 3 different mailboxes with all these names on it, and
3 different ads in the paper.
You know, listen.
That's a good question, though, Angela. Why should we even move in together?
Well, I mean, I don't understand the big rush. Now, let's talk about the marriage thing. I mean, you've been there enough. Why is it so important to you? I don't understand why. I guess I'm missing something.
It doesn't mean
Listen,
anything,
my marriages,
obviously.
they were bad luck. You know a gambler has a streak of bad luck?
Oh.
Not,
Is marriage a gamble?
No, I'm saying it. You know how a gambler has a streak of bad luck. Well, what happened to me is basically the same. I just had some bad luck.
Well, I'm not going to be the next string in your bad luck.
Can I explain myself to her, please?
Yes.
All right, don't interrupt. Okay, my first marriage.
Don't talk to me like that.
I'm
hate
sorry.
that.
I'm sorry.
I hate
I'm sorry. I'm
that.
just a little edgy right now.
Shut up, I want to tell you my dream. Shut up, I want to tell you my dream.
My first marriage, I was 19 years old. It was very obvious.
Okay.
Too young. We separated. Our parents supported us. Our parents paid for our rent. We just weren't ready to get married.
I
Okay.
understand.
She went back to her parents. I went back to mine. My second marriage, after about a year and a half of marriage, my wife had a sexual awakening. All right. After a little bit of therapy, she decides to leave me for another woman. I was a good
Bummer.
provider. Yeah, it's a bummer. That's
I don't
bad luck.
blame you. You know what? I've never held this against you.
My third marriage, I dated her for 2 years. I was very careful. We dated for 2 years. And for those 2 years, she was on anti-migraine
I
prescriptions.
think that she was an addict.
She wasn't an
personally.
addict.
She was.
She
You
was
made
an
a bad
addict. She had
choice.
my-
Just admit it. Just
She
live
wasn't
up
an
to
addict. Give your head a shake. She wasn't an addict. What happened now, she was on anti-migraine medication. We got married a month after that. She came off of it.
And then,
She figured, she turned into a monster.
so then that marriage dissolved.
And that
So you
marriage
know what?
dissolved. So
Okay.
because I had a bit of bad luck, I'm not supposed to try it again?
Oh, you know what my friends are saying? They're saying, Michelle,
Yeah.
why are you gonna
But who cares?
even live with a guy who's been married 3 times? Are
But
you
who cares what your
insane?
friends say?
I do.
Okay, no, you with this. I don't care what your friends say. I don't care what the community says. You with
Yes,
your
you
friends.
do.
Oh,
That's
please,
what
give
you're
your-
saying.
I do not care.
Okay, come back.
Because
All
you
right.
care more about a
You
piece
know
of
what?
paper
Michelle,
than you care about
John,
me.
Michelle.
Yeah, tell her. See?
Back to
I'm
the
telling
same,
you,
back to the
relax.
same
No, I'm
question.
very relaxed.
Thank you. Back to my
Very
same
relaxed.
question. I mean, you all have so much energy and anger and his hostility pent up on whether you should live together or get married. I'm back to my same point. Why do either?
Because we love each other, apparently.
I can tell.
What do you mean apparently? Why, I don't love you?
You know, I wouldn't want to live next door to these guys.
Mike,
It's
you know what?
noise all
I have
I'm a
night.
good
question
neighbor.
for
Never
you.
mind.
I
I'm
have
a good
question
neighbor,
for you.
okay?
I have a question for
I
you,
wouldn't
John.
cut your grass on
John,
Sundays
could you
anyway.
listen to her?
John,
She's
all right.
talking.
Hello.
Why is it that you feel that marriage has to be some next level that you have to be, that you have to get to?
Why?
Because that's the way I feel. Marriage has been an institution for as long as I can remember, and anybody can
And it
remember.
still
and
is,
why
but-
should I break that tradition?
Well, you already broke
Well,
it
you
3
did.
times.
You
And
already
I'm not going to go walk down and stand
you
up
know-
in front of my friends and then have you break
You
it
know what?
again with
You
me.
are-
Prove to me that you love me by living with me.
Michelle.
Well, so prove to you that you
No.
love me by living with me, then I'll marry you.
Okay, guess
Maybe
what?
I will.
I'm going to my resolution because you guys, this is difficult. I'll be back.
You don't even listen to her either. Like, you don't listen to me and you're not listening to her.
The next level, as you put it, in a relationship is a joint step. You know, for some reason, John, you feel as though marriage is the ultimate, and you feel as though that's the only way you can proclaim your love, as you put it. And usually what happens when we push marriage for the wrong reasons, it's usually the wrong choices. I know, believe me, I've been there. And as much as you try to tell yourself, well, this is different, if you're pushing it for the wrong reasons, the result is the same. You know, it's more than about being in the newspaper and having a joint address and having the same name on a mailbox. When I look at you, Michelle, I think you feel as though those were your words. We want to take it to the next level. And living together Same thing, is not necessarily the next level. What needs to happen is you need to learn how to love each other, communicate effectively because you haven't gotten there yet, and to depend on each other. Doesn't matter what your address is. You can do that without living together. You know, for a relationship to move forward, the only requirement is that you move in unison. You both are at cross purposes, and therein lies the problem. You know, what I suggest is that you both stay apart. There's no reason to live together. You need to take this time to work on each other, to work on the relationship, and work on learning to communicate effectively so that you can end up in the same spot. Because the true measure is not whether or not you walk down the aisle, get your name in the paper, or get a joint name on a mailbox. That's not what it is. The true measure is really going to be, have we made a difference in each other's lives? Have we made each other's lives better? That's the bottom line. So good luck to you both, and I hope that you can work together so that one day you can live together, hopefully as husband and wife. And that's that, the final word.
You know, something about Danny, the phone caller from our first case, and our good friend John from our last case seemed to rub me the wrong way. I guess it's because they're both like school in summer, no class. We'll see you next time here on Singles Court, the final word for singles.